Welcome to the Irish Farmers Journal Weekly Podcast.
I'm Zoe Kavanagh and I'm the Chief Executive of the National Dairy Council.
And there's been a lot of talk today, obviously we're at Dairy Day in Punchestown, about the vegan campaigns towards alternative beverages to milk, say. And we're wondering what farmers can do in the face of kind of aggressive vegan ad campaigns that have come to light.
You raise a great point. First of all, the vegan voice is a very small voice, and we must kind of keep perspective. In Ireland we believe only 2% of the population is pursuing a vegan diet, but what we observe is that there are certain vegan members, not just in Ireland but abroad, who are organised on a very deliberate anti-dairy campaign. And I think what firstly we need to be confident about is we have a great story to tell, particularly around the Irish production system, which is based on grass, and the family farming model, which clearly demonstrates the highest of standards in terms of animal welfare and care for the environment. So we have a great story to tell, and we have a great assembly of troops to organise. And I think now what we need to do is assemble our troops to tell the Irish story over and over again, in the social channels, on the radio. So I think what we need to do across the farming organisations is identify people who are willing to be ambassadors and equip them with the facts. And we do have the facts. We've developed this Dairy A to Z app that has all the facts around the key areas that are in discussion in terms of animal welfare, care for the environment, nutritional benefits, health and safety. We are perhaps a little shy or a little complacent around telling the story, and my observation based on 2 weeks in a new campaign and observing the backlash from the rejectors' voice, they are very extreme, they're very noisy, but they're very small, and I think we need to drown them out by telling the great story we have over and over again. And I think we need to assemble particularly our millennial dairy cohort, either who are working on farm or in processors or part of organisations, equip them with the facts and effectively drown out that rejector voice with a positive story.
Because you mentioned millennial, and I think what a lot of farmers are upset by the most, and I'm a farmer, is that I see ad campaigns online, on Twitter, on Facebook, and it paints a picture of farming that I don't recognise from my own upbringing on a farm, and that's what upsets farmers the most. So this is what you're doing now, is you're launching a new campaign to tell the story of farming that farmers know, basically.
Yeah, I think we've been probably too slow to react to the stories that are floating around on the internet, and cowspiracy, scary dairy, a lot of imagery coming from markets that in no way reflect the practices in Ireland. And I think we need to stand up and account for ourselves because it's inaccurate, and quite honestly it can be a bit intimidating sometimes to go and confront the misinformation, because in some ways it's like the facts don't count. Let's just paint a scary story. And what I think is somewhat sinister is I think a lot of these rejectors are deliberately targeting young, impressionable teenagers and scaring them. And then those people don't know where to go to get the real information. And I think that's where we need to stand up and have our voice and tell the story, because I don't care about the rejectors. I'm not trying to market to them, but I am very mindful that there is an uneasy and uncertain dairy consumer out there that needs the reassurance and needs to be exposed to the wonderful stories we have to tell.
The Irish Farmers Journal Podcast, online at farmersjournal.ie and on iTunes every Thursday.